One day I will go here. Mark it down, YouTube. One day I will go here. And the video won't say reacting to blah, blah, blah. It'll say American goes to blah, blah, blah. This video is called I Survived Football's Loneliest Job. I am so intrigued by this and I want to react to it. Let's get into it.
This is the world's loneliest football pitch. And for the past 50 years, there has been a job here that is said to be the loneliest job in football. Hidden in Donegal, Ireland, this football pitch...
Look at, just see this football pitch and then just beauty, just like everywhere. That's one of the most beautiful shots, just a football pitch in the middle of nowhere. Just the fact that it exists is part of the reason why this is the beautiful game. I love that.
Is so isolated that only a few people know who currently holds this job. But why does he do it? And is the job actually as lonely as people say?
Well, I decided to find out.
And our journey to the world's loneliest football pitch would take us all the way to the home of Dunlewy Celtic FC. And this journey took us from some pretty busy towns to some lonelier places the closer we got to the pitch.
Alright, so we just pulled up to a petrol station. This is the first building we've seen in miles. But the closer we are getting to the world's loneliest football pitch, the lonelier everything around here is starting to feel.
But nearly 5 hours later,
I'm not sure I would even classify it as lonely. Maybe if you had to live out there, maybe. I would just think that it's serenity. Like just, I would love to unplug from this hustle and bustle, just people everywhere, busy, 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 gotta do this, gotta do that. I'd just unplug and go to a place like this and just be surrounded by beauty. And then also to have a football pitch there. How could it get better than that? I don't know about calling it lonely.
Arrived at our home for the next 3 days. And this place turned out to be a pretty lonely house too.
Okay, so we finally made it inside our Airbnb, and I can't lie, this place is pretty cool. It also turns out we're not as alone as we originally thought.
There was sheep in our garden.
I think I'm just gonna go to sleep soon because tomorrow we've got a big day ahead of us. I will see you guys tomorrow.
After waking up and getting dressed, we were now just moments away from taking on football's loneliest job.
This morning we're also going to meet Manus, who is the current holder of football's loneliest job. I also have no idea what Manus looks like, apart from this tiny photo I've seen while talking to him on WhatsApp. I have no idea what to expect.
But now it was finally time to find this football pitch. And this journey was anything from what you typically expect to your average football ground. But it wasn't long before we got our first sight of the
world's loneliest football pitch. So the world's loneliest football pitch is right over there, and the only thing I've seen for miles are these sheep.
Yeah, this trip was pretty lonely, and I think this shot perfectly shows just how lonely this football pitch actually is. And as we got closer to the pitch, I thought we got our first sight of Manus.
Is that Manus?
We also had to cross over this extremely safe bridge and even go through the literal back of a farm before finding the tiny road that led up to the pitch.
This place is honestly so lonely that the only thing I've seen around here are sheep. Hey, come back. You're my only friends.
So with not even the sheep wanting to talk to me, eventually we made it.
So this is it. We finally made it to the world's loneliest football pitch.
Celtic.
This place is pretty lonely. So this is it.
I'm not sure if it was the fog that made this place seem lonely or just how isolated it was, but everything was just super quiet when we showed up at this pitch.
Oh, that's gonna be so great, the quiet. Just the fact that you could be out there on the grass. Quiet. I love, like, that's the thing I'm searching for in life sometimes, is just quiet. Everything is so loud all the fact I'm screaming into this mic making videos all the time. What would I give to just go somewhere where it's silent? I could have my journal, I could write, I could play a little footy on that pitch. I'd probably bring a guitar, write some songs. man,
I think that must be Manus. Let's go see him.
At this point, I still had no idea what Manus looked like. And to be honest, I was kind of expecting someone looking like Hagrid from Harry Potter to show up at any minute.
Exactly. I guess we just wait for Manus now.
Hagrid.
I'm getting wet out here.
Pause.
But after a couple minutes waiting, someone appeared.
It's good to meet you.
Not Hagrid.
I'm good, how are you?
Grand.
So this is Manus, and he is the
United
current
fan.
holder of football's loneliest job.
So I'm Manus Cannon, and I'm a bit of everything for the club.
Wow.
I'm secretary, and I'm actually
So his lonely job means he's the secretary, he's the manager, he takes care of the pitch, he lives in the lonely house, I suppose.
the manager as well this year, and a bit of grounds work, bit of everything really.
Manus then gave us a tour all the way around the pitch so we'd be familiar with everything before starting our job. And afterwards, he even handed us a to-do list so we could see what a day in his life looked like.
You manage all those jobs.
I hope so. Alright, so Manus has just given us a to-do list, and as it turns out, we have less than 24 hours to complete it, because tomorrow, there's gonna be a match here. I guess we better get started.
And so it was time for our first task.
Alright, so our first job today is to hang the goal nets.
So what I usually do is I go for the top corner first.
Yes, this bit. Here?
That's you, yeah.
It wasn't even that long into our first job that we came across our first problem because the instructions on the goal nets were written in German.
Right, I guess that's top right. It's in German.
In German, is it?
Reich's open.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Does that go like that?
Yeah, so just put that strap around the crossbar.
How often do you change the goal nets?
The last couple of seasons we've changed them every season, so we kind of try to keep them up to date.
This must be a hassle doing it every season. Do you score that many goals? You put holes in the nets.
It's more the elements, I think, that put holes in the nets here than the actual shot.
And as we were learning from Manus,
Like that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Perfect.
Natural.
the goal nets were starting to take shape.
I can't lie, on
Zip
days like
ties.
today, seeing Manus out in the rain doing this, it makes me appreciate a lot more of what he has to do. Yeah, this isn't fun.
And one thing that really surprised me as soon as we met Manus was just how young he was, which was something I asked him on the tour.
I can't lie, I was kind of expecting like a wise old man when I pulled up at the pitch, but you're quite young.
Well, I'm young enough, yeah. I feel like I've been here 50 years though, so it's kind of a stressful enough job at times.
So after trimming the cable
Stressful.
ties
This
and
job looks
securing
awesome.
the nets into the ground, our first goal was complete.
One net down, one more to go.
Here's some sped up footage of Manus and I completing the other goal net. Fun fact, this net alone took 18 minutes to complete. Crazy.
First job done.
So with our first task completed, we had time to take a quick
I love
break
this
before
location,
getting into
guys.
task 2.
I can't
I
lie.
love this location.
Doing the nets was miserable. It's kind of funny though, Manus really didn't seem to mind. It's kind of like he just enjoys doing this. This life, maybe
No,
it isn't
it's
for me,
awesome.
though. Maybe one day will be enough. There is literally sheep coming into the football pitch right now. This place, man, it's too lonely.
So after Manus gave the sheep a lifetime ban from the ground, it was time to get into task 2.
So job number 2 today is to clean the changing rooms. Is it hard to keep everything clean and in order?
It can be in the winter time when conditions get particularly bad here, like right now, but we all kind of pitch in around here and do our bit.
So for this next task, we had to get the dressing rooms ready for the game tomorrow.
So we're nearly halfway through football's loneliest job. And I can't lie, it's been pretty fun so far. I mean, the weather hasn't been great, but it's not the worst job in the world.
After picking up all the rubbish in the home dressing room, we swept up anything left on the floor. But some cleanups were
Gross.
even beyond my abilities. So after cleaning everything, the home dressing room's transformation was complete.
So that's the home dressing room done. Time to do the away one.
But while we were busy cleaning inside, Manus was getting the pitch ready for the next task. And to get the pitch ready to be lined, Manus put poles into the ground before connecting them with this arm.
Yeah, it might actually be a tough job to do all of that. I can't imagine actually doing everything that is necessary to prepare the pitch. You know, the nets, the lining, the cleaning, all of that, managing the club. That is a lot to do to manage the club. But man, I don't know about the loneliest part. Like, it does seem so isolated. I think I would love that. Maybe when the conditions get really bad in the wintertime, I would go crazy. But in this video, I would love that. Maybe I'd love to visit. I don't know if I'd love to manage it.
orange string, so we knew exactly where to mark the pitch. It was also at this point that we heard how Manus got football's loneliest job in the first place.
The fella was in before me, he left, went to Australia, so I was kind of lumped into the job, and I've been doing it since. I was 18 when he said he was going to leave, and then he gave me kind of a transitional period where he showed me all the jobs and everything. Wow. So that would have been 12 years ago. I didn't think I'd be doing it as long.
He's doing it for 12 years.
So our final task of the day was to line the pitch. And now that the guides were in place, all that was left was for Manus to mix the paint that would mark the pitch.
Right, so we're ready to go. Kind of nervous.
And then just give it a good push over that orange line, and that's it. That's it. Give it a bash there. The trick is to just keep your eye on the orange line.
This job was easily our most important yet, and it was going to take my full concentration to get it right.
This is the job I'm most nervous about, because if the lines are bad, then a lot of bad stuff can happen. I don't really have much of a method with this, but my main goal is that the lines just aren't squiggly.
Even with our best efforts, Manus was still keeping a close eye on us to make sure we didn't make any mistakes.
That's half of the pitch done. That was pretty easy, I can't lie.
Ever since I wanted my own football pitch as a kid, lining the grass was always a job that I've wanted to do.
You feel alone running the club?
Sometimes when the stress kind of gets to you, sometimes you do feel like you're on your own, but when it's all pulled together then like everyone comes in and like it's just a total community run club.
I mean, give or take, it's a pretty straight line.
The trick is to just keep your eye on the orange line.
So now that almost all of the pitch was lined, we only had the final penalty box left to mark. And to wrap up day one, we added the finishing touches to the last goal line.
And that's day one completed.
Now that the pitch was lined though, we had completed all of our tasks for day one. We also said goodbye to Manus at the end of the day, who gave us a Dunlewy Celtic shirt for helping out, which I thought was pretty cool. So after arriving back home, we had time to get some rest in before game day tomorrow. Our job is not finished though, because tomorrow it is game day. For now though, it's good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is match day. So we're back at the world's loneliest pitch for our final day, and today we get to see if all our hard work pays off and the team get 3 points on the pitch. We have a couple more jobs to do though. Let's go. The nets ain't looking bad, I'm not gonna lie.
So with just a couple hours left before kickoff, we met up with Manus again, who reminded us of our final tasks.
Yeah, we have the flags to put out and then we'll hang up the jerseys.
Of course.
Well. Manus also texted me earlier to let me know he was picking up new corner flags for the game, so I was pretty excited to see them.
I love this location, guys. This is the kind of content I want to make, guys. I want to do this stuff. I'd love to go.
So we're on to our second last job of the day, and it is to put out the corner flags before the game. This one's a big one. Flag number 1, down. Flag number 2, down.
Yeah, this job wasn't exactly that difficult, but now we had just one task left to complete.
Alright, so we are on to our final task of football's loneliest job, and it is to hang up the jerseys before the game. And after this task, we will have done everything we can before it's up to the players.
This task was easily our most rewarding yet, and after doing everything we could off the pitch, it was nice to hand everything over to the players before kickoff.
So we've just finished our final task, and I think we can finally say we finished football's loneliest job.
It's never ending, there's constantly something to do. On match days, I'd be getting everything organised. All the water and the medical bags and everything come over, make sure the pitch is in good shape and everything. Then just getting all the lads out, get everyone warmed up, name the team and hopefully pick up 3 points.
Alright, so we have done everything we can at this point. Now it's up to the players on the pitch to do their job and get the 3 points.
So with all our tasks complete, all that was left to do was watch the match. So with Dunlewy Celtic winning the coin toss over bottom of the table Cranford reserves, the game could finally kick off. And one thing I noticed right away was that not only was Manus the club's secretary, groundskeeper and manager, but he was also the linesman for the first half. It didn't take Dunlewy long to get into the game though, and they even got to test out the new nets early into the match.
Yes! Come on!
We also got to see some close chances and some not so close. With Dunlewy making the scoreline 3-0 by the second half, things were looking good for Manus.
The job means an awful lot to me.
We don't have this here. We don't have this kind of community atmosphere here, man. I'd love to live in a tiny little town like this with an isolated little football pitch with a club that like means the world to me. That's like part of his life, man. Just this little club. Just sitting out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody really knows about it. Doubt they have a big sponsor on their shirt. Man, I love this, and I wish we had stuff like this, to be honest. I love like the professional sports, and I love that we have like, you know, major teams, but
I mean, the club has been in my life, my whole life. I take a lot of pride out of it, keeping the club going, you know, for the community and any young lads that are growing up that want to start playing football with us.
But Cranford were coming back into the game, scoring 2 quick goals. But if Dunlewy could save one last attempt, they'd have the win. And with the full-time whistle going...
Just look at that, out in the middle of this. A football match. Like, imagine watching football in that location. Look, he was just standing, and like, it's so beautiful that there was, you know, just like sheep in the background, and just a handful of people and a football match, and no one else in the world was watching that. No one else in the world knows that's happening, but for those people right there, they witnessed the football pitch in that location. I love that. Golly.
Got there in the end.
Manus and the team got the W.
A win is a win.
So with our time at the world's loneliest football pitch coming to an end, it made me realise just how important people like Manus are to football clubs all around the world. And without them, clubs, even as lonely as this one, wouldn't be around to keep football alive.
Wow. I love that video so much. Oh, wow. You guys, let me know in the comments section down below what are the other videos you want me to react to. I'll see you guys in the next video.